You're watching the Mic Check on every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Mic Check. Today, we have a really special guest with us today. It's going to be Nancy Wolfson. She'll be joining us in just a little while. Champion of talent for over 2 decades, Nancy Wolfson is a private voiceover teacher, media coach, and freelance casting liaison for commercials, animation, gaming, audiobooks, promos, and narration. She also writes, produces, and directs both audio and video for audio demos for voiceover talent and is recommended by top market talent agent colleagues worldwide as the premier go-to person in advising beginning and expert talent on personal branding. Her coursework has been accredited at the university level and beginners working pros, and celebrities have profited from her curriculum in private and group classes throughout America, the UK, Canada, and Europe. Beyond training many Audible Hall and Farmers and Audible Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, this has got me really nervous that she's actually going to be coming on because I've been hyping this thing up for a little bit with her. And we'll have to do some audio or some video cuts. I hope you're okay with that, Nathan.
That's not a problem. I got it covered.
Beyond training many Audible Hall.
You even have words to read.
I do. I can't English today, apparently.
I'm going to clap you in, and then you can start from the top.
Yeah, please. Now, you know what? Okay, you got me. April Fools, we're not having her on. Today is actually about the weirdness of the English language. April Fools, everybody, although you probably expected that. That's fine. But yes, Nathan, if you would be so kind as to please provide everybody with the script today. Nancy Wolfson might be joining us for some time later, but all of you in the Thumbs Up Club are going to know about it before anybody else. Today, though, we are going to be going over a... Yeah, I know. Today is actually a script derived from I Love Lucy. So, Nathan, if you'd be so kind as to copy that in for everybody.
Okay, I'm also pasting it in Facebook for everybody, too.
Okay.
Michael.
In both places.
You got some splaining to do.
It was just a thought for April Fools.
I knew it.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't super tricky or anything like that, but hey. Oh, come on, really? I had this thing like all set up looking nice on the computer, and on my tablet it looks absolutely awful.
Mobile stuff, boy.
Right.
He's good friend.
I gotta plug in.
So like I said, this is a script adapted from I Love Lucy, and it's going to be, we're changing it up so that it's actually 2 friends that are talking to each other about the English language. One friend is a, English native. They speak English natively. Maybe they're from America, maybe they're from UK, they're from wherever you want to, but as long as they understand English. The friend 2 is a foreign language speaker as their main language. That's up to you, whatever foreign language you'd like or foreign accent you'd like to give them. But, they have a really strong grasp of the English language, but not 100%. There are those little oddities that throw them off. And we'll get into that as the script goes along. So since I'm actually going to have to leave in just a little bit to go pick up my wife because we're down to, well, anyway, I'll go ahead and volunteer to go first as friend 2.
Okay. John said he needed to go.
No, it's Tim. Tim.
John.
Tim.
I'm sorry, Tim.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm over here trying to manage and maintain a bunch of stuff, and I heard what you said, and then I anyway.
In fact, Nathan, could you do me a big favor?
Yeah.
Could you open this up in you have the screen in front of you, right? You can do this. All right, if you could open this up in the Google Drive and just get rid of those big spaces, that would be awesome. Because unfortunately, the formatting doesn't work.
It gapped out on you.
Well, I mean, it works on my computer screen, but anyway. So Tim,
that reads great on a computer screen.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, I guess okay. If it looks fine to you guys, that's fine. We'll just leave it as is. If you're on something mobile, unfortunately, it's going to look a little bit funky. That's all I can
Nathan,
remember.
Control A, Tool. I think it's Tools. Or View. One of the two. Spacing. Select it all and then change the spacing.
Okay.
But anyway, so actually, Tim, I should offer this first. Which character would you like to be? Friend 1, the English speaker, or friend 2, the native English or the non-native English
Well,
speaker?
you said you wanted to do 2, so you'll do 2, and I'll do.
Well, I'll just volunteer that because I think it might be the more scarier of the two. I know I'm more nervous about it.
That's fine. We can do that.
It's okay.
I'm easy going. Any way you want to do it, man. Seriously.
Oh, you both gonna go first since we have a 2-person script, yay?
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter. I'll be 1, you be 2.
Okay.
Alrighty. You ready?
Ready? Oh, you might want to turn up your gain again.
Again?
Yep.
Yeah,
no. Is that better?
Oh,
yeah.
Not yet?
Oh,
A
you're
little too hot.
That's good. Yes.
A little too hot?
Yeah, a little too hot.
Okay, how about now?
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
that'll work.
Here we go. Alrighty. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time, in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budgies from the trees. Cutting wood all...
Wait. Just a minute. What is this booges?
Budgies, right there.
No, that's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
No, that's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other. O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his work was through. When the...
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced rough. Through. It's pronounced through.
Through. That is what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day work was through. It started to rain on the way home. And so it started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking coo? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Okay, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say inu? Okay, so do we have our next set of volunteers? Look at that. I'm already well into it.
You're supposed to choose, aren't you?
Just use it.
It's always wonderful when you get stuck in an accent and you can't get rid of it.
All right.
I'm not writing down the order, by the way. I'm in my booth now. Sorry.
You're not writing down the order. Okay, that can be a little bit. Nathan, would you be able to note down the order?
I should be able to. Hang on a second.
I know I'm putting a lot on your shoulders. Thank you very much, Nathan.
I can get a pen, marker, and paper like I did last time.
Well, hey, Tim, who would you like to be friend 1 next?
Who would I like to pick as friend 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go with Devin.
Okay.
And then do I do friend 2 then?
No. I'll go ahead and choose a friend 2.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let's see who's on the chopping block for friend 2. You know what? Let's go with Frank.
Yay. I've never read with you before, Devin. You and I have never read together before. This ought to be fun.
I can speak English. All right. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budgies from the trees. Cutting wood all day made it...
Wait, just a minute. What is booges?
The budgies, right in here. Budgies, see?
Oh, that's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
Right.
Okay, bow. He spends his time in the forest cutting boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day, he's cutting
That's rough.
spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
Oh boy, does it ever. So I make a little mistake. This made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was rough. When the
Whoa, 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 hold it, Shakespeare.
throw?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced.
Throw. That's what I always say. Now, stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking... Cool? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough. Cough.
That did it. I had enough. Or should you say, inu?
Sure, let's go with the new.
All right. Who's up next?
Devin.
Dan.
Okay, so Dan is the next friend one.
Okay, good. I don't have to worry about an accent.
Oh, you will eventually. You will eventually.
We're switching.
Let's see what Leonard sounds like as friend number 2.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods, there lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting down all...
Wait. Just a minute. What is this bouges?
Boughs? Right in there.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day,
That's rough.
spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I make a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was through. When a...
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking... Coo? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say enu?
I've had enough of you too.
All right, Dan, who's the next friend one?
Russ.
Okay. And Leonard, who's the next friend two?
Let's see who we got here. Richard.
Richard, to the microphone, please.
Richard, the mute button, the mute button.
I was writing. I'm trying to keep track of names too, in case we have an issue. So, sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
See what I have to deal with every week?
I'm writing it down, though I'm not typing it because my typing skills are. I'm writing it down.
There we go, friend one.
All righty.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
Okay, it's once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budgies from the trees, cutting wood all the day.
Wait, just a minute. What is bougies?
Budgies, he's right there.
That's boughs,
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
right?
Okay, it's bow. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting the wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day when
That's rough.
What? Well, he spells the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Shh. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon, his day's work was rough. When the
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Through, right?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. Huh. That's what I always say. Okay. Now, stop picking on me, will you? Okay, you're getting me all confused. All right. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red and developed a hacking coo? Well, it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I've had enough. Or should I say, knew.
All right. Well, it looks like Lauren has stepped away.
Yeah,
so...
Lauren is actually just sitting in for the evening. So
okay, no worries.
He's not going to be reading.
All righty then.
John and Nathan. Is that what's left?
That's what's left, John and Nathan. So you guys get to fight with each other about who gets to be friend 1 and friend 2.
Nathan definitely gets 2.
Well, John. Okay, so Nathan is 2.
I have no problem with
Because
that.
Russ is picking John for 1. So
No, it's right.
Nathan gets to play friend 2.
Go to water. Ready? Ready. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods there lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budgies from the trees, cutting wood all day.
Wait a minute. What is this budgies?
Budgies, right here.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
Right.
Bow. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H?
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and raw. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon his day's work was rough. When the...
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Throw?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Dude, that's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home. He got so wet that his nose became red and he developed a hacking... coo? Well, I know it can't be a cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say no?
actually, your pickup fit. Made his hands strong and raw. Wait. Made his hands strong and rough.
Yeah, it was intentional. It was how I fixed a line when I did a sketch the other day. I was on the phone making it sound like I was getting interrupted. In the process, I was messing my line up, but nobody will ever know except people who've heard this.
Alrighty then. So let's talk about the characters a little bit, shall we?
Okay.
So we learned last week from Mark about some really cool ways to approach different presentation styles. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, I don't know what's up with my brain today. To approach different presentation styles. Now, those are a little bit more for
Commercial
commercial
copy.
work, but I think a little bit of something like that could potentially apply here in the fact that you kind of want to introduce your character's backstory a little bit about them, about who they are, about what they're all about. So let's give these characters a little bit of a backstory, shall we? Something that maybe we could approach with, something that we can, something to sort of liven these two characters up. So friend one, who are they? What are they all about? What are they like?
They are definitely teenagers.
Okay, teenagers.
No.
Yeah, because they're pretty to each other.
Well, here's the thing, though. You could still be adults and be a little bit pedantic towards each other and understand that the whole thing's a joke.
True.
So I wouldn't necessarily say that these are teenagers, but I would mostly say that these are two people who've known each other for a while. Maybe friend one, knows how to speak friend two's native language, and maybe that's how they connected. That's how they sort of started building this background together with each other.
Look at you built the character for us.
Funny little side note on these characters. I actually had an uncle from Portugal, and my aunt was teaching him English. I listened to them converse one time while she was trying to teach him English, and it almost went in this way. So,
well, it's just throwing out an idea there on what to on what you could potentially some background you could potentially give them. Maybe there's something else. Maybe friend two is like a foreign exchange student or somebody going to college in the US, and these two are college age people, maybe who knows, maybe they're a little bit older. Maybe friend two is somebody who
maybe they met in college and now they've been friends for a while.
Yeah, it could be that too. It could be that because I know some companies have like programs where they bring in people who are highly skilled from overseas to work for them. Maybe that's how these two people met.
Co-workers, yes.
I really doubt that they would have met in college, because if a guy went to college and he got a degree from college, chances are he would know the difference between bow and bow and booge and all that kind of stuff.
Well, my mother has lived more than half her life here in America. She's originally from Argentina, and she still has difficulties with the English language. You wouldn't necessarily get that from her when talking with her, conversationally. But did she have a college degree? Did she go to university for 4 years? She didn't. Well, at least not here in America.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. Maybe it's his grandson helping his grandmother, or you got your situation right there between you and your mom.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a whole bunch of different ways you could approach it. But
people that can't understand our English language, because we have words that mean several things. And in example, excuse me when I say this, but the word shit, it could be your stuff. It could be a noun or a verb. You're in deep. Well, no, maybe it's still a noun. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, when you use the words in so many different ways, you confuse the guys. Like, wait a minute, I thought you meant it meant this. Well, right now it means this or that.
Yeah, this is this particular script. While I totally understand that, this particular script is a little bit more about the weird ways that the same spellings can be pronounced differently based on English. I don't know.
I'm thinking like Fred and Desi.
That's exactly what I thought it was too.
Because it's I Love Lucy, so I'm thinking it's like the neighbor Fred.
I saw this bit within the last year.
I'm thinking it might have been like a thinking back to when they first met kind of thing or something like that, when Desi had just come over from wherever he came from.
Yeah, that would work. What about if you had maybe a grandson that's helping his newly immigrated grandfather who's come over to the country, and he's trying to help him understand what's going on?
That's what I said.
I don't know if a grandson would say to his grandfather.
Oh, I would have to mine.
Hey, Shakespeare.
I do see them being the same age, whatever that age is.
Oh, the Shakespeare.
I'm with you. I missed that.
Friends talking to me.
Friend one is taking the piss, so it should be more comrades, friends, or something.
Yeah. Friend one definitely. But that was one thing I noticed that shows how little you know about the English language. A lot of the times that was delivered a little derisively. I mean, I think you could joke it up a little bit more.
Shows, yeah.
What was it? Perfect Strangers.
There you go.
There you go.
That could be
like that.
Cousin Larry and Balky.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
There you go. You have a bunch of different options you can choose from. I think the way you approach it could really depend on who you're reading against. You know, who you're paired up with to read with.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about how you decide to approach it with your partner. Maybe that's something to discuss before jumping in. However you want to approach it.
Yeah. I realized somewhere halfway down that I had dipped into a Tim Conway character. my accent shifted just ever so slightly. And I know everybody over the age of 30 probably knows what I'm talking about.
So then let's go ahead and talk about friend two. Who are they?
Definitely foreign.
Mm-hmm.
Recent immigrant.
Just fell off
Pretty
the
recent immigrant?
Yeah.
Do you think it's really recent though? I mean, he said, "Hold it, Shakespeare." He would have to know who Shakespeare is. I mean,
Well,
that's friend one.
Just be saying that.
right? But he says it. Like,
It's not hard to know who Shakespeare is. I mean, I used to know a guy from Germany that did Shakespeare plays. So
In German.
People learn English in their countries too.
yeah, he did Macbeth in German.
Yeah, but the way he's talking to him, it's not like he's like a complete just swam over the border or whatever.
Yeah, no, this definitely friend two has enough of a grasp of the English language to have this sort of back and forth with another person and recognize that there's some joking and some teasing going on there.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some background in English to this character.
I'd say he probably speaks English well, but when you, if you have to go to read it the way it should be, you think spelled is to be able to pronunciate it correctly. I'm not an expert.
Goes to show how much you know the English language, Richard.
So this is definitely somebody whose main language is very phonetic.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be things like Russian, like Spanish. Those are really, phonetic languages. Unfortunately, French doesn't really work for that because it's definitely has the same sort of pronunciation rules that these words would. It's pronounced slightly differently depending on how it's,
I remember going through this with my niece, doing pretty much the same thing. The OUGHs. She had the same issue with it. That's what learning to read.
Well, there you go.
So I mean, it could be a child. Well, other than the last, that's what I always say. Now stop picking on me. You're getting me all confused. That's the only.
Yeah, I think that section right there is almost like their main language sort of coming back to them a little bit more.
Right.
But so then let's come up with a tone that should work between these two characters. What would you say that tone should be? What should we be aiming for?
Odd couple.
Okay, no, that's a good one.
No, that's really a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You got two guys that are buddies that maybe go out for beers all the time. What do you do with your buddies when you're out doing that? You're giving them a raft of crap and giving them a hard time the whole time you're out. It's just kind of what you do. So yeah, that actually works really well. I like that.
Okay, friendly banter, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Friendly teasing. Anything else? Any other sort of feels that should be focused on? I think odd couples a really, really solid hit to what we're looking for.
Thank you.
Anything else? No? Cool. Perfect. All right. Hope we all took some notes on what we're looking for each of these characters and for the reads. I have to step out, but we'll go ahead and start with
you and Tim.
Oh, man, I unfortunately cannot hang out for that read right now.
I'm gonna go.
Tim, how long do you have?
Well, 15 minutes. We could do it.
Okay, well let's go ahead and get through it real fast.
I'm gonna do something different. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay, when you're ready, sir.
Oh, you're friend one.
No, I'm friend.
Oh,
two.
You want to switch now?
One.
Wait. No. You're right. I'm sorry. Where am I? I am friend one. No, I did friend one already once, Mike. And you did too.
Okay, well, I guess since this is going to be your last read and mine for a little while, we'll go ahead and switch it for now.
Isn't that what we did, gentlemen?
Well, you do the read again the second time, the same spot, and then you flip after you've done it the first time.
For sure, man. I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay.
well, since you have to go, Tim, and since I'm going to have to leave here pretty soon.
Michael. You do
We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and flip it right now.
All right. We'll try it. Okay.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in woods lives a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bushes from the trees, cutting all.
Whoa, wait, just a minute. What is this? Bushes?
Bushes, right there.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Right, bough.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees, cutting wood all day, making his hands strong and raw. One day
that's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
Yeah, that's right. That shows how. Dang it! Sorry, I got a little long. That's right. Shows how little you know about the English language.
Oh, so I made little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon, his day work was rough. When he would
hold it, Shakespeare.
Rough.
No, T-H-R-O-U-G-H right there is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Okay, now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day work was through. It started rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking. Coo. Well, I know it can be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I've had enough. Or should I say, inu?
All right, everybody. What did you think of that read?
That was fantastic.
That worked perfect.
Yes.
On Krakosian accent.
I freaking like it. Yeah.
Good job on
Tim
your
has
friend
been
too.
working on his accents.
Tom Hanks would be proud.
The only thing I heard is the word coup. There was no question mark behind it.
Yeah, no, it was like I was thinking the same thing. It was no state. It was a
The
statement.
frustration was really genuine, I found.
All right, good job.
Good night, everybody.
All our best to your wife, bud.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, she feels better soon here.
Thanks, bud. Take care, guys.
Take it easy, Tim.
Take it easy.
Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and move on. The next group was
Devin and Frank.
Devin and Frank. You guys go ahead and take it away. Same pairs. I will be right back.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bushes from the trees. Now, cutting wood all... What?
Wait.
What?
Just a minute. What's this bushes?
Bushes, right in here. See? The word bushes.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
Right.
Oh, okay. Bow. So, he spends his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day, when he's cutting down...
That's rough.
What's this?
It's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. Well, that shows how little you know about the English language.
Oh, so I make a little mistake. Anyway, made his hands strong and rough. One day, he cut wood so fast that by 3:00 in the afternoon, his day's work was through. Now, then he is heading home.
The Shakespeare.
Well, what? Through?
THRUGH is pronounced through. Through.
Through. That's what I say. That's what I always say. I say through. Now, stop picking on me, will you? Let me get through this story. Okay, here we go. You're getting me all confused. Oh. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking... oh, no. Coo? Well, I know it can't be cow, but what is it? Can you tell me, please?
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say, inu?
Great job. I liked it.
Fantastic.
Very entertaining. Devin was doing the part of trying not to laugh at you, even though she found it extremely amusing. She was trying to be a nice friend, but it was getting the better of her toward the end.
Yeah, nice characterization there.
Yeah, that was all character, right, Devin?
Reliving my
I
child.
would never treat my friends like that.
Reliving my
Never.
childhood when my Uncle Tony would turn around and look at my Aunt Teresa and go, "Don't scar the size me, Teresa."
So do you want to
My
do
husband has English as his second language, so.
Oh, so this is all
I'm
home for you.
This is like my daily existence.
Yeah, exactly. So should we do it again and switch roles?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said he didn't want French. I shouldn't do French.
It's not a. Yeah, you ever tried to read French?
Just
it's not pronounced.
Yeah. French. They hold too much. Well, like Michael said, they hold to the same, pronunciation rules pretty much. And hey, we got most of our English language from the French, so.
But every other letter is silent.
Or has a little funny
B-O-U-G-H. The B is loud, the O is loud, the U is silent, the G is loud. Or no, wrong way.
It depends on what you're reading.
Yeah.
One note that I'd have, not specific to this reading, but to several of them, on the line after the hold it Shakespeare, the throw, when friends twos throw, I'd have that rhyme with bow, because that seems to be what makes most sense to me in the script, because the first time it was rhymed with bow, second time it rhymed with rough, so he tries rough, and when that doesn't work, you fall back on the ow.
Alrighty then.
That makes sense.
Should we do this again, Devin?
He's right.
Okay, and I'm the 4 and 2 now. We're switching, or
Yeah, so you're number 2 and I'll be number 1.
okay, I'll just pull something out of my ass.
That would be unique. Can we watch?
Foreign accents aren't my forte, but
that's what I'm scared of too.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, here we go. Hey, pal, listen, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this story?
All right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bushes from the trees, cutting wood all.
Whoa, wait, just a minute. What is this word, booges?
Oh, bushes is right there.
No. So sorry, pal. Listen, that's bows.
Oh, B-O-U-G-H is bow.
Yeah, right. That's how you pronounce it, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, he spent his time in the forest getting down boughs from the tree, cutting wood all day, made his hands strong and row. One day he would.
No, wait. It's not row. That's rough.
Oh, spelled the same way as the other with O-U-G-H.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. That it just, it just goes to show how little you know about the English language. That's all. So,
Oh, so I made a mistake. Anyway, he made his hand strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was rough when the
oh, no. Hold it, Shakespeare. Hold on here. Time out.
row.
Through. It's pronounced through.
Oh, through.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? Oh, you're getting me all confused. Oh, the day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Well, I know it can't be cow.
No, it's not. It's cough. That's how you say it. Cough.
That did it. I had enough. Or should I say, enough?
Oh, okay, fine.
I pictured Jamie Lee Curtis from Trading Places.
Yeah, for sure. Help me with me rucksack.
The Nordic accent was a good choice.
Yes.
That was Canadian.
Yeah, well, the people who settled in Canada were all.
Frank, can we get a ruling on that?
Yeah, you know what? Nordic, Canadian, whatever.
I thought maybe Minnesota.
I heard a little pinch
there.
of Bobby's mom from Bobby's World.
They
Don't
both
you
use
know?
I live in a few different countries.
Get in the G Golly living room, don't you know?
Yeah, that sing-songiness was all Scandinavian, in my perception.
There you go.
Who was next? Oh, Leonard. Yeah, was next. Leonard and who else?
Dan.
Dan and Leonard.
Hey, Leonard, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story for me?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bouges from the trees. Cutting wood all...
Wait, just a minute. What is this bouges?
Bouges, right in there.
It's not boogers, that's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and row. One day...
That's rough, not row, rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was through. When the...
Oh, hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
Through is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused.
That's not hard.
His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking... Coo? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough, genius.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say anew?
I love the cough, genius.
I actually didn't mean to say when you were in the middle of reading. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
I liked how bouges became booger.
Yeah,
yeah, that kind of...
figure out where the boogers came from.
I just picture that Laurel and Hardy-ish kind of odd couple thing going on when he said, "It's cough, genius."
Yeah, exactly.
Dan's the snarky one out of the two.
Wow.
I definitely see friend one doing a lot of snarkiness.
Yeah, you were way too fast though, Leonard.
Yeah.
You were
Okay.
way too fast.
Okay.
Like, if your English is a second language, you ain't breezing through it that fast. And in fact, you were going so fast that Dan couldn't even catch up with you to make it sound like a natural conversation.
Okay.
So when he was, you'd like zip through the line and then just stop dead all of a sudden. And
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I got to speak now. Oops, sorry guys. So
Yeah,
just, I got to speak now. And then Dan would come in and there'd be these pauses in there and that. You got to slow way down.
Yeah, and it gets a lot harder to do the timing on the interruptions when you're just zipping through it the way it was. And yeah, you're
what you
right.
got to do is this is where you have to learn to ad lib, because what you do is you don't just stop where it stops. You keep going.
Okay.
So you got to think ahead and think to yourself, like, you know, in that friend too there, where it comes up, you know, he says, wood all day made his hands strong and rough. One day, well, he was continuing to cut, like you keep talking until the other person catches up and then cuts you off. So that makes it sound like a more natural conversation. If you just go one day,
no, I'm done
and
with
then
my
look over at Dan and wait for him to come in. Well, it
But I'm
sounds
delayed a little bit, so
it doesn't sound natural at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. That's my opinion. Does anybody else?
No, that actually that makes perfect sense, because I mean, I've had a lot of practice doing this on my own.
Yeah, ad lib is definitely not my forte. So
because you've got a conversation going on between two people, and you're in the middle of reading when you get interrupted. So you have to just like tag on the rest of that sentence and just keep it flowing while he's getting ready to interrupt you, and then let his words overlap yours, because that's what's going to happen in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, like say for instance, like when Devin and I were reading, Devin's got a lag or something like that, I think, in the line or something. So when she hears what I'm saying, it's already been like a second and a half afterwards. So you almost have to, you're forced to keep reading when you're reading with Devin, because if not, by the time she realizes it's time to come in, and this is nothing against you, Devin, it's just the way the internet works sometimes.
It's my internet.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what it is. But you have to, you know, sometimes if you're in a studio setting and, you know, you're in Pittsburgh and the other person's in Peoria or something like that, you may have that. So you have to keep that in mind sometimes.
Yeah. There's all those little things to compensate for. And of course, the rest of it's up to the engineer. But, you know, when you're in a live situation, you can't totally depend on the engineer. You've got to do it all on your own. So that's
sometimes
where our own technical prowess comes in.
Yeah, I've been told a few times in other contexts too that I should slow way down.
Well, so slow down and learn how to ad lib a little better.
Yeah.
You know, which comes with time, but you gotta, you just, so anyways.
Yeah, that's where theater lessons come in, because that's something that is always done. Any show that you have something where it's cut off like this, you are almost always told you need to finish that sentence out. Just keep talking until you get interrupted.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
All right, ready?
You can always take improvisation classes too.
That helps big time.
Yeah, I've heard that's supposed to be good. Speaking of which,
very good.
Yeah. Okay. We doing it same order or flipped?
Same way, so you can slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Bjorkston, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this little short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budges from the trees.
Wait a minute. Wait, just a minute. What is this budges?
Well, budges, right in there.
That's not budges. It's not boogers. That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Yeah, that's right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day
that's rough. That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was through. When the time came to...
Shakespeare. Hold it.
Through?
Through is pronounced through.
Through. Well, that's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking coo? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough, genius.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say anew?
I've had a new you too.
Much better.
It's cough genius actually fit well with his response at the end. That did it.
All right. So I guess we get switched. Anybody else have any notes?
No, that was way better.
Everyone's been doing a great job. It's all been entertaining.
Strive to entertain.
It was just trying to understand. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Hey, I want to help with your English. Can you read the short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down budgies from the trees, cutting wood all day.
Wait, just a minute. What is this budgies?
Budgies, right there.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
Right.
Bow. Okay, bow. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other. O-U-G-H.
Oh, that's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I make a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day, he cut wood so fast that by 3:00 in the afternoon, his day's work was rough. When the...
hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through! That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking coo? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say, inu of this shit.
I think you took it too much to the extreme to the other side of slowing down, Dan.
Yes, just what I was.
Well, actually, he dipped into someone who's trying to learn to read in English.
Mm-hmm. It to me it was so slow it completely lost the comedic effect that went with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he had a little brain
sounded
damage.
like an English as a second language class. That's all it sounded like. There was no comedic value there.
I see what you're saying.
So slow.
Yeah, it was all you felt sorry for him instead of wanting to give him a bad time. You actually felt sorry for him. That's going too slow when you go that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, focus on really feeling irritated with me. I want to feel those daggers coming out of your eyes there on the anu.
I've had the new.
Yeah, I was actually, like I said, I was just helping my niece with it not too long ago, actually. So that's what I was dealing with.
And
All
if that's what the script was about, if it was supposed to be something about just somebody trying to teach somebody to speak English or to read in English, guess what? You nailed it. But I think it's supposed to be more of a comedic interplay between the two friends, and it just seemed to me like it was a little bit too slow to have that comedic value come through.
Yeah, there wasn't any comedy timing.
Okay.
So
one more go,
again, but make it funny.
What you were doing, Dan, was fine. You just needed to speed it up a little bit. It's not like you don't know all of the English words. It's but when you were reading it that slow, it's like you were just starting to learn English, and you're farther along than that. And like I said, it turns from being funny into, oh, I really hope he can get English someday. You feel sorry for him. Opposed to
you probably read whatever your native language is at a perfectly fine speed. So seeing the words on the page is fast, but deciphering what they actually, how to pronounce them, can take a little time.
Depends on if we use the same alphabet.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like Richard said, I mean, it just the how you were doing it was fine. Just needs to be just a little bit faster.
Yeah, just what you were doing was great, but move it along.
Go for it.
Okay. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
Oh, crap, I lost it. There it is.
Wait, that's not the right line.
No, I lost the page. I was looking at
I know.
Okay, start from the top.
From the top.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in forests cutting down budgies from the trees. Cutting wood all day.
Wait. What is this budgies?
Budgies. Right in there.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough.
Right.
Bough. Okay, bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other.
Oh, that's
O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I make a little mistake. Okay, let's see. Made his hands strong and rough. One day, he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was rough. When the...
Oh, hold it, Shakespeare.
Uh-oh. Trough?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You'll get me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red and he developed a hacking... Cool? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. Or should I say, enu?
All right. What did everybody think of that one?
There you go, Dan. That was better.
The pacing was great.
Yep. That
Yeah.
what you did before was fine. It's just like it needed that speeding up, and that helped a bunch.
Uh-oh.
Daniel,
I
you've
didn't do
earned
it.
you've earned the golf clap.
I make up accent.
Well, you know, dearie, an accent made up can really work for someone, you know.
So I actually pulled up like one of them free casting sites, and I pulled up one of these, and it says, "We can't land on the ground, remember?" And that's what I used for my. Fake accent.
I want to hear somebody do an Italian accent and read it.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, use the little the New York lady.
The New York lady.
Oh, little old Yiddish lady. Yeah, but the only thing of it is, she's been in America very much longer than that. But
all right, well, it's Russ and Richard if we're not going again.
I could probably change it to something else.
Okay, Russ.
No, Lauren wants Italian.
He wants Italian. I can do the best I can. I'm not so sure it's going to stay all the way through, but we're going to give it a good try, okay?
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Do that one.
I close my eyes and I see my grandpa all over.
Oh, Peachy, me and my big mouth. Okay. All right, Russ, we're doing the same thing. So you're 1 and I'm 2.
All right, friend 1. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this story? The short story?
It's all right. Yeah. Once upon a time, in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the woods cutting down the budgies from the trees. Wait,
just a minute. What is budgies?
Budgies, yeah, it's right there, eh?
That's boughs.
You're telling me B-O-U-G-H is a bow?
Right.
Bow. Oh, yeah. He spent his time in the forest, cutting down the boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands so raw. One day...
That's rough.
Why, he spelled it the same way as the other, O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
Yes, I made a little mistake, huh? Let's see what is it? He made his hands strong and rough. One day, he cut the wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon, his day's work was rough. And when he was...
it, Shakespeare.
Through.
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through, yeah, that's what I always say. Okay, now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me so confused. Okay. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red and developed a hacking. Cool. Well, it can't be a cow, huh?
It's cough.
Oh, that's it. That did it. I had enough. Or should I say, he knew.
All right. What did everybody think of that read?
I like that.
Did my Italian stay good mostly?
I don't know if you could see it. I'm trying to hold up some spaghetti and wine.
Out of the corner of my eye. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought it was a cookie. I'm going, somebody holding a cookie.
Cookie. This is your reward for getting through that.
You want a cookie, mister?
Good job on the interruptions, and I didn't feel you were too condescending, Russ. I thought that was a pretty good. I just was trying to do my best, and all you want to do is interrupt me, huh?
Good with the hands too there.
I used to do that for my granddaughters who'd make pizza and stuff, and it says, "Hey, you come to Luigi's. It's so good pizza because it's made with the love." And then my oldest granddaughter was a sophomore in high school, and her boyfriend's name was Luigi.
Funny.
Oh, the poor guy. He never heard me because they were in a different city. But she goes, "Yes, every time I hear you say it or type that, Papa, all I hear is your..." The relationship, needless to say, didn't last that long. Shoot.
I think the only criticism that I had on that last read is right at the very end when you Richard, when you did the that did it, I had enough, or should I say inu, you didn't emphasize enough.
Okay. Oh, Daddy did it.
Oh, Daddy did it. I had enough.
Enough.
Or should I say inu?
I say inu, huh?
Yeah, there you go. It needs to stand out enough so that the inu makes a little bit more sense with the reference. That's the only, I think that's the only real major criticism that I had for you.
Okay. He's okay.
Other than that, solid read.
Nice.
Russ, we've read before a couple of times together. I think we got a good pattern going here, bud.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Well, it's time for you guys to swap up.
Okay. Thanks for the suggestion there, Lauren. I haven't done an Italian in a while.
Well, you know what? I haven't heard my grandpa talk since I was seven years old. So thank you very much, because that was very close.
You're a very welcome. You're a good boy.
What's the matter, you?
Okay. All right. I got to be straight. Are you ready, Russ?
I'm ready.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bushes from trees.
Whoa, wait just a minute. What is this bouges?
Bouges, right here.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
That's right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
Whoa, that, I'm sorry, that's rough?
Spelled the same way as the other, with O-U-G-H?
Yeah, that's right. That shows just how little you know about our weird English language. Go ahead.
So I made a mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day, he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon, his day was through. When the...
Whoa, hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Now, stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he's developing a hacking coo. Well, I know it can't be cow.
No. It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I've had enough. Or should I say enu?
All right. What did everybody think of that read? Got it.
Oh, Dan's
Everybody
over there
goes
talking
stunned.
into a muted microphone.
No, I'm not. I'm actually just doing.
Hold it, Richard.
Oh.
It's so hard to be famous. It's, you know. Shoot. Pretty good, Russ. Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, anybody else with any comments?
None? Zero?
Wow.
No, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
At least we got that.
I mean, obviously, Russ, you might want to practice accents a little bit more. But other than that,
That's
though,
not like a
other
Texican
than
accent. It was a Texican accent.
the Texican accent. Well, here's the thing. Other than that slight, I honestly would consider it really only a slight detail because the actual acting itself was really solid. Like, it was convincing. So just a tiny little note there. Otherwise, it was great.
Great. Thanks.
I enjoyed it.
It's always weird to finish and have be dead silent. You go.
Yeah, that's almost worse than somebody immediately jumping in to say something.
I know. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. I'm a big boy. I have emotions sometimes. No.
Yeah.
All
After
right,
the read, nobody says nothing. It's like, fuck? What did I do wrong?
Yeah. Well, I guess if there's no other comments than that, we'll move on to John and Nathan.
Okay.
So John is friend 1, Nathan is friend 2. Whenever you guys are ready, from the top.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods there lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bushes from the trees, cutting wood all day, made his hands...
Wait a minute. What is this bushes?
Bushes, right there, right on the page right there. You see it?
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees, cutting wood all day, made his hands strong and raw. One day...
Well, that's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other O-U-G-H?
That's right. It shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut the wood so fast by 3 in the afternoon his day's work was rough. When the
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Throw?
Through is pronounced through.
True. That's what they always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me confused. His day's work was through. He started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet his nose became red, and he developed a hacking horn. Cool? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough. What should I say? No.
Okay. And what's the consensus on that read? You see, English is English?
The English language is a very difficult language to learn.
Is messing me up. I swear I know English. I swear I do.
We are going to have to teach Michael how to speak all over again.
I'm going to have to relearn it after this.
I'm going to be stuck with his accent for the rest of the night, too.
All right, so what did everybody think of that read?
Friend 2 is definitely reading the book a little bit fast, reading his story a little fast.
Nathan, you're going too fast.
I'll dial it back.
You could go. The speed of the conversation was fine, but slow it down when you're trying to read. Is basically
exactly the conversation, because the accent you're doing that usually tends to talk faster, but when you're reading, I would slow it down a bit just to make it sort of like you're not 100% sure what you're reading and all that. It sounds like I know how to read all of this, no problem.
Yeah, you can read just
like that.
Yeah, the parts that are in the book. Go ahead.
I just thought it worked for me because it just seemed like he was so confident in his English that he was just plowing through it. And a lot of Indians are really good at English too. I mean, they learn it over there.
There is that side of it too. Yeah.
Yes, I was speaking the English very well because I learned it from a book. Just like Manuel from the Faulty Towers, he was learn the English from the book.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to really slow it down. Just
slow it down to the same place.
Yeah. I kind of like going fast on the parts where you're not reading out of the book, and then slowing down a bit on the parts where you're actually reading in the book.
Okay.
Another thing is Nathan, you're a little emotionally flat.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more angry than you should get, sort of like, annoyed, but knowing it's a joke. I guess if I wanted to give you the most nebulous direction ever, I'd like to see a little bit more emotional expression.
A lot more emotional expression would be good for me, wouldn't it?
There you go. I mean,
hold on a second. Did you just tell Nathan he has to dial it up?
Yes, I did. I did.
This one is particular character.
Did anybody else hear that is a little emotionally flat? Especially
it came across that way to me too.
Like, they're just bantering. They're bantering with each other basically. Like friend 1, this is almost their prank on friend 2. Like they know that this person has a little bit of difficulty with it. So and in that vein, John, I'd like to hear a little bit more laughing and a little bit more levity and jovialness from you about this whole thing.
Yeah, I got the impression that from the script that friend one knows going into it that this exact issue is gonna come up, and that's why he picked the script so he could make fun of friend two.
Right. So maybe friend one on their first line would be like a little wink.
Yeah, exactly.
That is just like you, John, always making fun of me.
But I worked with a lot of Indians in IT, and that was really spot on, the way you interrupted and even your kind of flatness to it. And I mean, it seemed like you got the Indian thing kind of down with their mannerisms even.
It is one of those things I practiced over the years, and it helps to learn the language very much. 26 different languages in my country. What am I going to learn English for?
I just keep picturing Fred Mertz reading this, and he's not exactly jovial.
Well, this is definitely more of like some banter between two longtime friends.
Yeah,
like it's sort of now over the past several reads I heard boiled down to this almost like pedantic sort of almost belittling a little bit, heading towards that. But really, this is supposed to be like just two people sort of joking around with each other. They both understand that this is sort of a trap.
Yeah. All right. Right, Nathan? Where am I here? All right. Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time, in the woods there lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down bougies from the trees and cutting wood all day.
Wait a minute. What is this bougies?
Bougies, right here on the page. Look at this.
Oh, that's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bow.
Right.
Bow. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other. O-U-G-H.
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Mistakes are happening to everyone every once in a while. Made his hands strong and raw. One day he cut the wood so fast by 3 p.m. in the afternoon, his day's work was tough.
Well, hold it, Shakespeare.
Draw?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
True. That's what I always say. I say true. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. He started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking... What is this word? Cool? Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that I had enough. Or should I say you knew? I'm done with it. I'm through with you. I'm not going to do this anymore.
All right. What did everybody think of that one?
I liked it.
Very good.
There you go.
Yeah,
Thank
no, it
you
felt a
for
lot
the
more
patient
genuine.
advice, Frank. I appreciate that. Thank you.
This time it was John who was almost too slow. But that Nathan, that was the perfect pace. You were doing that was great.
And the
I
way
was
you
trying
said
to be laid back.
spelled the same way as the other, like most people say O-U-G-H, like it's a real question, but Indians don't do it like that. You did it just like an Indian.
Actually, I really liked that read personally. I wouldn't really change it all that much. I do agree that maybe, John, you could have been a little bit faster, but it did seem more like you were just enjoying the show more than anything else. It felt really sincere. And that's...
Okay.
Yeah, I was nitpicking. It was just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
The secret to the Indian dialect is, okay, their language, number one, is way more diverse than the English language. Hindi within itself is huge, okay? And the thing of it is when you're coming from Indian to English, there's this little relaxation that happens in the tongue. So
you just let your tongue go all over your mouth.
It doesn't.
Bottom jaw.
The tongue doesn't quite reach the full.
The tongue doesn't quite reach the bottom of the gullet.
Yeah, it doesn't reach the roof of your mouth at all. It just kind of relaxes and waggles inside your mouth, and then And you know, so you're trying to form these words that in the English language are a little bit more hardened, and it comes out very soft, and then everything comes out soft in its way.
Very, very soft.
Yeah, very soft.
But I will say, John, your performance did feel very authentic. It felt very genuine, like you really were just sort of enjoying the show as it was going along. Like
I was trying not to make it seem like I was jumping on him, you know.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good. Maybe a little bit of jumping wouldn't have been too bad, but again, I feel that it really sort of communicated that, like, oh man, I knew this was going to happen, and this is pure gold. Just sort of the soaking it all in kind of vibe. That's what I got from the read, at least. Nathan, your banter back and forth with him was pretty good. The extra ad-lib really worked out. Really gave some life to the character. All in all, the performance was really good.
Thank you.
All right, time to swap you two.
Hey.
Okay. Now I'm going to help Johan with his English language. Hang on a second. I got to get rid of the accent.
Nathan's going to do the hardest thing for him to do himself.
Yeah. I have to get.
How's he get
It's hard. It is. When you do something for a certain amount of time, you want to speak with an accent, and
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down branches from the trees. Cutting wood all...
Wait. Just wait a minute. What is this bougies?
Branches. Right in there.
That's boughs.
B-O-U-G-H is bough.
Right.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough.
Spelled the same way as the other, R-O-U-G-H.
That's right. It shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and rough. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon, his day's work was through. When the...
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H. It's pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home. He got so wet that his nose became red and developed a hacking coo. Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I had enough, or should I say, enough.
No, that's enough.
All right. What did everybody think of that read?
Nathan, you're mean.
Yeah. Who knew?
Come across very condescending.
Yeah.
Oh.
And John, you needed to go just a little bit quicker. Again, it came across so slow. It was, oh, I feel so sorry. You can't read.
Yep, I agree.
We'll help you. Instead of wanting to give you a raft of crap, it was, Fias, I'm sorry you can't read this stuff. So, and all you have to do with that to change it is just pick the pace up a little. You were doing all the stuff you did was great. Just needs to be a little snappier.
Yeah.
And
what happens at that point is instead of laughing, we just get really ticked off at Nathan for making fun of you.
Now he becomes,
and he's so mean. Yeah. I would say also right there towards the end on that line, through, that's what I always say, now stop picking on me, will you?
that part, and you're getting me all confused, that part before you're getting back to the story, that you can do quite fast, because that's just you talking. It's not reading from the book.
That seemed a little too slow?
Yeah, that seemed particularly slow. There were big pauses there between the sentences, which didn't feel natural. Conversational.
Okay.
And Devin, you had something you wanted to say?
No, I was actually trying to say what Frank had just said. That just makes it look mean, picking on a slow guy.
Yeah.
I have to adjust my compassion levels again.
Yeah. Nathan, you bully, picking on the guy that can't read.
Sorry, Devin. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. My apologies.
Now, is it my internet? Is it just, it takes like 2 minutes for people to hear me, probably?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
There is a lag, yes.
You got a little bandwidth problem there.
Surely it's not 2 minutes.
No.
No.
I might use hyperbole.
Well, go for it. So all in all, Nathan, please be nice. This is a joke. And John, you can go ahead and pick it up a little bit. You know, just I know it can be really easy to feel self-conscious about not being able to hold an accent the entire way through. This is just a general note, by the way. But I like to take my mother as an example. Like I mentioned, she's now lived more of her life in America than in Argentina. But again, when speaking with her directly, you wouldn't necessarily tell that English is not her first language. But when it comes to certain pronunciation and other little things, it's really obvious that English is not her first language. For instance, she has this thing about mixing up genders, his and hers and him and her and things like that. Those get mixed up sometimes in her brain. Little pronunciation differences like ear and year, she can't differentiate very well. So, I mean, otherwise she speaks English perfectly, but it's those little tiny details that you can really play with. And if you can't necessarily hold or if you don't feel confident in holding a particular accent for too long, it's okay to just lean on the pronunciation weirdness to sort of communicate the fact that English may not be your character's first language, and which is what this is all about.
Or you can make one up like I did.
Or you can make one up like Dan did. That's another way to do it too.
Get your mom on the phone. We'll let her be friend too.
I really wasn't feeling self-conscious about holding the accent. I wasn't really thinking about that much at all, other than just trying to, if I was trying to pull off Spanish, you know, the pronunciation of the vowels was really all I was trying to concentrate on.
All right. Well, yeah, you can.
I just wanted to seem like I'm just learning to read, but I'll pick it up a little.
Yeah, well, this character has a grasp on the English language. It's just these weird oddities that throw them off.
Gotcha. All right, let's do it again.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down branches from the trees. Cutting wood all... That's your cue.
Oh. I thought you were going to try to finish the sentence.
No, you don't let him do that. Okay. You're supposed to cut that off.
True. Sorry. Didn't take my cue. Wait, just a minute. What is this bougies?
Bougies. Right in there.
That's bows.
B-O-U-G-H is bow?
Yeah, right.
Bow.
Yeah, bow.
He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day make his hands strong and raw. One day...
That's rough. Not raw, rough.
Spelled the same way as the other? O-U-G-H?
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
So I made a little mistake. Made his hands strong and raw. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, his day's work was through. When the...
Hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. Now stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. He started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet that his nose became red, and he developed a hacking coo. Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. Had enough. Or should I say enough?
So no laughing at each other afterwards? Okay, what did everybody think?
Nathan wasn't quite as bad.
Yeah, he wasn't quite as mean this time.
Yeah, that was a much better pace, John. At times you slowed down, but then you picked it back up again.
I switched off the snark monster.
Well, you switched it mostly off. It was now the snark, what? Small beast?
It just dialed him back a little bit. Back, you beast, back. Getting out.
One of the best ways to communicate that both people know this is sort of like a trap and a joke is to allow yourself a little bit of a snicker in between your lines.
Okay.
And go for it. That's totally okay. You know, also, it might be good to play up a little bit more the frustration as time goes on, because it seems like friend 2 is just sort of going along with it until at the very end they suddenly go, okay, I'm done. That's it. It's just like this weird explosion of anger when
it should escalate. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, a little bit more frustration along the way, and then maybe a laugh at the end to sort of punctuate. Yeah, I knew this was coming, but whatever. It's still funny. Because you English speakers are weird.
Oh, tell me about it. These English speakers are right about me.
Yeah.
All right, one last go.
Hey, I want to help you with your English. Can you read this short story?
All right. Once upon a time in the woods lived a peasant. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest cutting down branches from the trees. Cutting wood all day long.
Wait, just a minute. What is this bougies?
Branches. Right in there.
That's boughs.
A B-O-U-G-H is bough?
Exactly. Right. Bough.
Bough. He spent his time in the forest cutting down boughs from the trees. Cutting wood all day made his sound strong and raw. One day...
That's rough. You know, rough.
Spelled the same way as the other? O-U-G-H?
That's right. That shows how little you know about the English language.
Okay, so I made a little mistake. Made his hand strong and raw. One day he cut wood so fast that by 3 in the afternoon he had his work days was through. When the
hold it, Shakespeare.
Through?
T-H-R-O-U-G-H is pronounced through.
Through. That's what I always say. So stop picking on me, will you? You're getting me all confused. His day's work was through. It started to rain on the way home, and he got so wet because his nose became red and developed a hacking coo. Well, I know it can't be cow.
It's cough.
Oh, that did it. I've had enough. Or should I say enough? Yeah.
Okay, and what did everybody think of that one?
Every time you read it, John, you kept getting a little better and a little better.
Yep.
Nathan needs to help you out by cutting you off when he's supposed to cut you off. But other than that, I thought you were doing, every time you did it, it became a lot more kind of conversational, going through stuff and working at it. I liked it.
I need to work on my improvisational skills.
There may be a tad bit of delay between us too. That because I'm catching him pretty quick on this side, but I'm not exactly sure how it's hitting that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all in all, that one I feel had the best sound to it.
Yep.
It definitely
had the right tone to it.
Yeah. It definitely felt like two friends joking with each other. Just
felt like we played off each other a lot better on that one.
And it can always be tightened up just a little bit in post.
Yes.
Oh, the tricks of editing are wonderful.
you turned down your jerk monster, and John pumped up his guy a little bit. And between the two of you, I thought it worked a lot better. It was kind of a little more lighthearted. I thought that was definitely the best one.
Yeah, I had a lot more fun with that one.
Well, it definitely sounded like it.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that's everybody in all roles, right?
That was all of us.
Awesome. Well, like the subject of this particular script, English is weird, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Next week, Nathan's going to have something fun for us, so you guys better be looking forward to that. And we'll see you all next time.
See you guys next week.
Bye. Yep.
Join us every Monday for free script practice. You can also find the Mic Check on Facebook and Twitter. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.